Welcome back. Thank you for joining me and coming back for part 3 of the NES library, my collection. That was terrible. Let's try that again. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for coming back and joining me again as we do part 3 of my NES collection video series. Today we're going to talk about unlicensed games and then my 5 screws. But I forgot in the last video. I forgot a couple of games. Simply because I have these separated because they are in, I've got them in these rental cases because these kind of hold some sentimental value to me. They're like my favorite games that I have that I don't have CIB. But, so these are, I keep these protected in these rental box cases. The first one is Legend of Zelda, the gold cart. I always thought this was so cool when I was a kid that it was a gold cart, because you always see them in gray carts. Majority of all the games are like gray carts. And so when I first saw The Legend of Zelda in a gold cartridge, I was like, that's really, really cool. And I've never actually beat this game on the cartridge version. I've beat it using ROMs. I think I beat it on the classic NES, but I've never finished it on the cartridge. So the next one I have protected in these rental boxes is Super Mario Bros. 3. This is one of my favorite games ever. So much fun. When we first saw this on the Wizard, we were like, oh my God. Of course, now looking back on it, the Wizard was basically just a 90-minute Nintendo commercial. But it was so fun to see a new Mario Brothers game. I was like, oh, whoa, so this is what's coming. And this is a Left Bros cart. So it is a, this was the first run. So now that we have those out of the way, let's talk 5 screw. 5 screw games are when Nintendo first came out and they were first putting the cartridges together, they put them together with 5 screws. They were flathead screws, I believe. Yes, 5 flathead screws. Later on, they switched over to the 3 screw version, and it was a different kind of screw that you had to have a special driver for. 5 screws are some of the earlier ones. Some of the 5 screws are more valuable. Some of the 3 screw versions are more valuable. It just depends on scarcity and when they were made in the life cycle. Like anything that was switching over from 5 screw to 3 screw, sometimes the 5 screw is more valuable if it was a newer game. Sometimes a 3 screw is more valuable if it was an older game. So that being said, first one we have is Commando. I don't remember if I've played this or not. I want to say that I have, because it was an older game. But here we go. Next one we have is Golf. Black Box Golf. And in case you didn't know, it's a sport. But Black Box Golf. I guess I can show you. That's 5 screws. Another thing to look out for when you're looking at 5 screw games, certain games, especially towards the very early in the NES games, they had a Famicom adapter on them. None of my 5 screw games have the adapter. I've taken them all apart and looked at them. That was because they didn't know if the games, if Nintendo was going to take off. And so basically they just basically had the Famicom Japanese version of the game, and they just put an adapter to it to make it play on NES cartridge consoles. So that's another thing to look out for. So I have Black Box Golf. I have Ghosts and Goblins. This is one of the harder games. I've never made it past, I think, the second level. I think I've only got to the second level within the past year. So even when I was a kid, this was so hard. I remember a story from when I was a kid. One of the kids in my class was at the arcade playing this game, and he was at the very end. Of course, I don't remember if the arcade game is the same way, but in the cartridge version, console version, you have to go through it twice to actually beat it. Well, he was at the last castle, was getting his way through the last castle, and we had a power outage on base, and we lost all the power, like for the entire base, went down, and he was so mad. He came into school the next day. I was so mad. I was at the end of Ghosts and Goblins, and the power went out, and I lost everything. Next one is Gyromite. This is one of those ones that do have the Famicom adapter. Unfortunately, mine does not. There's different ways you can tell. Looking at the metal connectors, the purple is a little different. Best way to tell is weight. The ones with the Famicom adapters weigh a little bit more. But this is Gyromite. I never played this game because I didn't have Rob the Robot the same way as like Super Glove Ball. One of these days I will have Rob the Robot, and I will be able to play it. Now I know that you can play it 2 players. The second player controls basically what Rob would do. But I want to play it authentically with Rob the Robot. What's the next one? Akari Warriors. I have played this game, but it's been a very, very long time. This one actually came from Game Exchange in Texarkana, Texas, at 4115 North Kings Highway, number 114, Texarkana, Texas. So thank you, Game Exchange in Texarkana, Texas. I did not get it from that store, but thank you for my collection. 2-player game, you can play simultaneously. Give this game a try. The next one is Ring King. I have never played this game. It's a boxing game. Obviously, Punch-Out was the boxing game that I played. I've never played this game. To be fair, I just got it because it was a 5-screw game. And this was back when I first started collecting a couple years ago. And I was like, ooh, I want to get 5-screw games because those are the early ones. And now I just want to get them all. Like Pokemon. The next one is, I think, was the same people who had golf. Had this one because it says sport. This is Black Box Tennis. I have played this game, but it's been a long, long time. Mario is the referee in it, I believe, if I remember correctly. And the last one is Trojan. I don't know anything about this game. I do know that Greg owned it. I hate when I find games and the labels are written on. Greg, if you're watching, why did you write on your game? All right, and we're back, and I had to look something up real quick. But we're going to start talking about unlicensed games. The first one we're going to start out with, just because it's in alphabetical order and just the way I have them set up, is actually my most valuable cartridge-based game. It's actually gone down in price. It's only worth about $60 now. It used to be worth about $72 or $73. And that is Baby Boomer by Color Dreams. This was an interesting game. I've never played it. I have seen gameplay of it. I've never played it. It's a light gun game where you shoot the baby to make him jump. Seems kind of violent, but that's how you control. That's how you control him. But Baby Boomer, pretty rare game. Next one is, and that one was by Color Dreams. This one is by AVE, American Video Entertainment. It is Dudes with Attitude. Never played this one before, so I don't really know anything about this one, unfortunately. The next one, I saw this. I walked into the store. I saw this from the front door, and I was like, ooh, I have to have that game, because I had not seen at the time one that looked like this in a metal, like a silver metal case. This one is Firehawk, and it's actually, like, most time when you just play them like this, but this one is upside down for some weird reason. And then in the back of it, to get across the lockout chip, they put a switch on here. You put it in position A, and if it doesn't work in position A, you put it in position B. And I guess if it doesn't work in position B, then you're SOL. You get a top loader then. But this is Firehawk. Don't know much about this game. It looks like it's a helicopter. It looks like probably a flying shooting game. All right, I have another. That was by Camerica. I do have another Camerica game. This one is MiG-29. This one's a little dirty, but scuffy, dirty. Again, it's got the little switch on the back that says position B. Use only this position if the game does not work in position A. All right, next one I have is one of my final, that's not the Tengen series. This one is by Wisdom Tree. We all know what Wisdom Tree is known for. They're known for the terrible Bible games. This one is Journey to the Promised Land Exodus. It feels really cheap. It does have specific instructions on how to start this game. To start game, please wait up to 9 flashes on the TV screen. Power on. Please wait 7 seconds between power off and power on. I guess that was their way of getting past the lockout chip. And I get why Nintendo did that. They wanted quality games. You'll notice none of these games have the Nintendo seal of approval. After what happened with Atari, I get it. But some of these unlicensed games are actually kind of fun. So why not give them a chance? All right, so next one we're going to start out. Next set of games is the Tengen games. And fortunately, I do have official Tengen sleeves. I want to find some. I do want to find some Color Dreams sleeves, and like the sleeves. To be authentic, I really want the actual sleeves for some of these games. I just don't have them. I know some of them were like Funko sleeves. Some of them had just regular paper sleeves. It's really weird. But I was able to get my hands on a bunch of these Tengen short box ones. I actually have some extra ones. We're going to get some more Tengen games. This is another one that is upside down like this. This is Clax. I always thought that the Tengen cartridges were unique, and I always liked the Tengen cartridges. Actually better than the Nintendo cartridges. But I guess that's something to do when you're an unlicensed game company. You can make your cartridges however you want them. Tengen, of course, was the most popular one, but there were some really good games on Tengen. They could have, and some of them actually were ported over and given official licenses. But this is Clax. I don't know this game. I think this is like a breakout type game. I don't remember though. That's the next one. Gauntlet. Classic game. Gauntlet. This was one that was one of Jennifer's games. This actually came from Movies Etc. 7455 South Hewlin, Suite 110 here in Fort Worth, Texas. Any of my DFW people, my Fort Worth people? Does anybody know this game? This store? Because it's not there anymore. That's for sure. All right, next one is Roadrunner. Haven't played this one before. But I found this with the manual for a pretty good price, so I had to get it. The next one is Shinobi. I want to say that I've played this game, but it's been a long, long time, and I don't know. I don't really remember a whole lot about it, unfortunately. The final one that I have as a loose cartridge is Vindicators. I don't know anything about this game. Sorry to say. I may not have the official Nintendo seal of approval, but they all do have the Tengen seal of quality. The seal is your guarantee that this Tengen product meets the highest quality standards. And a lot of the Tengen games are really good. One of my favorite games from when I was a kid was a Tengen unlicensed game, and we'll get to that because I have it on complete in box. So that is the unlicensed games. Thanks for watching. This is a little bit shorter video. Next time we're going to go and start in on my complete in box games. That one may be a little longer because I'm going to show and talk about those a little bit more. So thanks for watching. Blessed be. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.